Um, we can look at risk 5 and low risk in particular. I've stolen this quote from the website. They want to be the Linux of the hardware world. I think they're doing a pretty good job of it. They're providing a central component for open source development. But FuseSoC wants to be the Ubuntu of the hardware world, because if you look at modern software development, you don't just download stuff and then run arcane compile scripts. You do your apt-get install and then you get going. You know exactly how to install things around them. So here are some of the things I hate that I've been trying to remedy. Please note that one. Well, yeah, I basically don't like any of these things, really. But there are things I do like tool-agnostic interfaces. Like, you shouldn't care if you're running for Model Sim or Icarus, you should just be able to do it. And all these EDA tools are horrible. They invent their own languages and scripting possibilities and everything. Proper dependency management, not just Git submodules. You will have the diamond of death situation. I think it's called like that once you have many dependencies. So if we look at FuseSoC, what it is, it's basically a build system and a package manager. So you have your HDL files. You define a core file, which is a description of the IP core. You have a bunch of those. You have the core manager, which calculates the dependency between them. Then you run FuseSoC, and it will. You say that you want to build a certain system, and it will compute all the dependencies and stuff and create an interface, which I call EDA API, which is a data structure containing all the files and all the parameters and everything that the EDA tools need. Export the HTML files, and then it will run it through any of these tools. Simple as that. So for the future, I like to do some things. I like to separate the EDA tool wrappers because I recognize there are many open source EDA tools that could use these EDA tool wrappers standalone. Or the situation could be that you want to use the FuseSoC as a package manager, but you want to export things to your own EDA tool thing. So I think it makes perfect sense to do a split between these services, like where you have the EDA API HL files thing. I want to add support for different types of tools, and this is basically in the order I'm thinking of implementing them also. So we have people ask for linters and things like that. I have a new core description format in the works. It will be YAML based. It will contain a lot of nice things like use flags. You'll be able to on the fly add, remove certain features. Pretty inspired by Gentoo, also by Cargo's Rust cargo system. Generator plugins, because you want to perhaps build bus interconnects on the fly, convert IPExact files to top level Verilog, things like that. Chisel is quite popular. World domination, and at some point documentation as well. Thank you. Yeah, I want an external tool to handle that, because I think it's out of scope for FuseSoC. I do think it should be passed through a standard. I'm not very keen on ad hoc solution because it's a generic thing. It's not bound to CPU. It's not bound to a certain kind of system, so it needs to be generic. I think IPExact will be a good fit for that.
But then will you add support for generating these top levels at some point? Like, does the support exist now? Like, is it just a certain configuration of the tool that you need to like invoke this top level generator as a separate step? Or?
No command line tool exists. So FuseSoC doesn't generate any Verilog at all.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay. But this is a goal, right? This is something you're going to add?
The goal is to find another tool that can do it, that can be integrated as a step in FuseSoC, so you can call this as a service on the fly, together with any other thing like automatically create bus interconnects or export C header files or whatever.
But I thought FuseSoC did buses as well.
Well, you're wrong.
I thought it used to. I thought you were generating buses at some point.
I have created components which are packaged for FuseSoC, which are wishbone bus interconnects and things like that. I have a Python script that can generate arbiters and interconnect things, but they are not in FuseSoC. They are separate things.
Can they be invoked by FuseSoC?
They can be invoked by FuseSoC. FuseSoC has support for running scripts at certain stages. You can more or less do it on the fly already.
Okay, so that stuff isn't integrated in a FuseSoC. It's separate.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Oh yeah, we got a heckler.
Yeah, for my project, I switched to submodules, GitChat modules, and
Asshole.
to me, yeah. No, what I find difficult is if you want to work on different cores, you make the assumption that you have a certain version that you want to use, and developing cores, different cores, and making your own patch management. So all these RPM build also have patch management, so that you can add patches to a certain version of a GitHub, and that's. Hey, I didn't find out to do it, but maybe you can help.
Yes,
me.
you can do. You can add patches. Exactly that, because some upstream cores may not want to implement certain FuseSoC-specific features, or the upstream project may be dead. That's in case of many open source projects. So FuseSoC can apply. It downloads the upstream cores to cache, and then it can apply patches on the fly. And I use that quite a lot. We're running out of time. Thank you.